Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is HD and I'm coming at you guys with another HD broadcast of IPL3 qualifier action. This is from online qualifier number 3. As I said before, there were 4 online qualifiers and I'm picking the best of the best games that came out of these qualifiers, and I'm judging that based off what the community really liked. Now, I remember saying at the end of the last broadcast, I wanted to cast another mirror matchup, but not ZVZ or TVT. I want to do PvP because here at HD Starcraft land, there is no racism. I am open to all races and all matchups, and you know what? I don't think I've casted a PvP in some time, so this is just evening things out a little bit and bringing back some of that Protoss versus Protoss love, which I know a lot of players out there play Protoss, so this is certainly going to be helpful for all of you guys who may want to brush up on your Protoss versus Protoss and want to learn how to play this matchup, because I sure as hell don't understand this matchup as well as, say, ZVZ. This is certainly one of those enigmatic mysteries that you know, watching it can certainly help a lot. And that's actually one of the reasons why I like to cast so much as well, is because it helps me improve as a player, and I'm sure it helps you guys improve as players as well when you guys watch the top players in the world. These guys are the ones who innovate the new builds. These guys are the ones who come up with the strategies that are keys to success, and on top of that, just watching them, you know, stress each other out and pull each other's hair and BM and sometimes GM as well, it's really entertaining. So we'll just have to see what happens. It's a Protoss versus Protoss, as I said before. Our blue Protoss player in the bottom left is going to be ATN Socke, who, very good Protoss player, as you guys all know. And his opponent is going to be a Korean. It's going to be TSL Killer, not the guy I casted last time, which was TSL Symbol, although they do use the same generic account, TSL Third, I think it is what it is. They might use TSL Second as well, and they have like a TSL 1 and 4, yeah. They're all using generic North American accounts to play on North America, which means that they do have a little bit of a 1-second lag they've got to deal with, and we'll see how things play out here, even with that lag. Protoss versus Protoss, of course, one of those matchups that is extremely volatile, and I've said this many times in IPL TV before, where I cast daily. This is a matchup where players can't expand safely. Unlike ZVZ and unlike Terran versus Terran, you can expand safely. You've got a lot of defenders advantages that work for you, such as spine crawlers, queens. For the Terran, they've got bunkers and siege tanks. For the Protoss, though, they've got an offensive mechanic known as the warp gate, and you can place that pylon anywhere you want and start warping in units, and because of that, it makes the matchup very offensively oriented. And with that in mind, a lot of Protoss players play this game with just a cutthroat attitude of victory is imminent within 10 minutes. And of course, because of that, it's very, very unsafe to expand. Throwing down 400 minerals for a Nexus, unlike other matchups, can actually be the death of you, because if your Protoss opponent sees you expand, they can just start warping in a bunch of stuff and attacking you. And if they start attacking you, then you know you're not going to have enough to defend against it. On top of that, it's very hard to play the defender as well, because you know you've only got one mechanic for Protoss that you can defend with, which is force field, and that only applies to the ramp and doesn't apply to your natural, so that makes it additionally difficult to grab your natural, especially on this map, of course, because it's so wide open. But besides the force field, there really isn't much. Maybe the photon cannon, but this isn't Protoss versus Zerg. You don't really get cannons in PvP. So yeah, with that aside, with that little side note about PvP, it looks like we are going to have some Stalker on Stalker action right now. And these guys are creeping around the map right now. Looks like Killer is going to be moving in with 3 Stalkers. He's even got a probe inside of Socke's main as well. Gets a full scout off right now. It looks like Socke is going for 3-gate Blink Stalker right now. He's got a Twilight Council coming. Killer also has a Twilight Council coming, but on top of that, he's got a robotics facility, so gonna stretch himself a little bit thinner, but he's microing very well. Random force field here. Actually, that force field may have helped him kill off that Stalker right there, so maybe not the most rando force field, but a little bit of Stalker on Stalker action, and a couple of sentries around here or there, but we are going to move straight into Blink for both these Protoss players, with the difference being that Symbol has stretched himself a little thinner with a robotics facility. Now, what does that let him do? He gets an obs out. Not only will he be able to scout, but he will be able to blink into the main of Socke with the observer spotting the high ground, and Socke is not going to have that luxury. So it's going to be interesting. Obviously, Symbol gonna go for a timing attack with the Blink Stalkers in the Observer, and Socke doesn't have that timing window. He's gonna be the defender here in the next couple of minutes. We'll just have to see if he can do it or not. The Observer is out. It's actually already on the way across the map. Now, because, of course, Symbol went for this robotics facility and invested into the Observer, he's going to have a little bit less Stalkers for a while. But as his 4th warp gate comes into production here, he's going to start to warp in lots of cycles of Stalkers, no doubt. Yeah, more Stalkers joining the fray right now. The Observer has made its way inside the main. I wonder if Socke realizes it with the blur. You can kind of tell right there that there is a bit of a blur on the minimap right there. So Protoss players, a lot of players will oftentimes recognize that, but for now, it is running amok inside the main, and Socke is going to go right for a Nexus. Very, very insane opening. I don't know if I agree with this. You know, opening with the Nexus first right under the watchful eye of the Observer here, this is just going to motivate Killer to go ahead and move out, and Killer has a great time here with all of these Blink Stalkers to do a lot of damage, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. Expanding in PvP, so risky. And not to mention, this is a hard map to hold a natural down on. I don't know if Socke's going to be prepared for this. And more pylons coming up in the middle right now, so more Stalkers are about to join the fray as well. And Symbol's going to have this, Killer, excuse me, I keep calling him Symbol. Killer's going to have this great opportunity to do a lot of damage. Now, if Socke can hold on, then he's going to be able to reap the benefits of this Nexus. But it's going to be very difficult. Both players now blinking on top of each other. They really want to save that blink to escape, though. You got to blink the Stalker behind your army, but the thing here is also you got to blink it not too far away, otherwise you lose DPS on the Stalker. So you got to keep it just in range when you're fighting, and both players here being very intelligent with their blink, but it looks like Symbol gonna go ahead and blink into Socke's army. Excuse me, Killer. Killer's gonna blink right into Socke's army, and I think Killer may have the advantage in terms of Stalker numbers. He's coming in with the reinforcing Stalker as well, and both players just pounding on each other. Socke doing a great job keeping the weakened Stalkers to the back, but it looks like at the end of the day, Killer may have more Stalkers, and he has got a little area here where he's cut off Socke's reinforcements from the Nexus, and now the Nexus starting to take a beating from those 6 or so Stalkers. And this is why expanding is so risky in PvP. That Nexus could have converted into 4 more Zealots or maybe 3 more Stalkers, and now Socke's gonna pull probes off the line. He's paying the ultimate price right here. Will he be able to hold the line? There's another pylon coming up for Killer, and if Killer gets that pylon up, it doesn't even matter actually. Socke is just gonna call the GG. So very one-sided here for Killer, and that is why expanding is just such a risky opening in Protoss versus Protoss. But that is going to be the first game. Have no fear, guys. I promise you guys this series is going to get hectic in a couple of minutes. So make sure you guys stay tuned for Game 2 and a potential Game 3 coming up in this best of 3 from online qualifier number 3 of IPL. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Make sure to tune in to Atlantic City if you guys haven't already. And if you guys want to tune into it, I guess I should give you guys a website, www.ign.com/IPL. And that's it for me, guys. HD, signing out to the next game.